So I hope everybody had a nice holiday, had that turkey, had that stuff and all the good stuff and trimmings. But now it's that time when you're at home, you got a little extra time, and I was going through the tanks and I noticed a little funny thing going on. You may be a little more acquainted with some of the things going on in the planted tank. I've done the usual. I've looked at some of the levels. I've tested the water, but I noticed a few issues with the plants, and I'm hoping maybe you guys will see something and get familiar with it, or give me some tips or something. So nobody knows everything, so let's go. So the tank is actually like a 40 and change, like 47-gallon cube and whatnot. And it's really tall, which kind of lends itself to some complicated issues from time to time, mainly being lighting. Now, as you know, I have the super intense garage light, which has adjustable Kelvin levels, and I played with it the first couple of weeks until I got it where it seems like everything is getting a decent amount of light. It's running good for about 3 years now, I guess. 3 years, 4 maybe. One of the things that I noticed is my crypts. The crypts will do this from time to time, and I never really noticed it until now. But I noticed the leaves are curling up like this. They're usually open and flat. I tested. I don't have an iron test kit, but I was actually dosing XL by Seachem, the Flourish product. And according to the Flourish product, it has acceptable amounts of iron in it. I'm trying to get it where it'll focus. Hard to focus. But I didn't see any improvement using the XL, so I waited a while. Once again, I don't have the iron test kit. I'm making an assumption, which is really usually a bad thing to do without being able to test for the element. But that did not work, so I did some adjustments to the lighting to see if maybe that was an issue. Maybe the light just wasn't penetrating enough. And I raised the intensity just a little bit. But what I've also come to notice is there's a little bit of yellowing in the Amazon sword as well. So that usually shows a sign of either low light or just straight carbon deficiency. So I'm hoping maybe you guys will notice it, and maybe you've experienced something similar. Everything else is kind of pressing along. One of the things that I do also is I remove a lot of the pothos. I know the pothos can remove a ton of nutrients from the water, especially when the roots start spreading out like this. And the amazing thing about pothos is the pothos roots will reach down and it will seek soil. As you can see here, it will seek soil and it will just absorb and absorb and absorb. So I did take that under consideration. And I'm going to probably shoot out to the store and pick up an iron test kit from Seachem. I didn't see one by API, and I tested everything else. pH, everything is good. No ammonia, things of that nature. I did take it upon myself to clean out the filter, remove and replace the carbon and the water. While the water is nice and clear, the fish are all happy and healthy and showing some vibrant colors. I'm just having that problem with the crypts. I'm glad it hasn't died back. And if you'll notice, I have it potted here. It's potted and it has a pond substrate in there, which has a bit of nutrients for pond raised plants. And I'm thinking it could be just a number of things. With tanks, is always a mystery. You got to kind of like take everything apart and try to solve and come up with something. But yeah, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the tank, and I thought maybe you guys would be able to give me some tips on what's going on with that. On another note, the paradise fish are doing great. I've become a real fan of the just different types of Grammys. And you'll probably think I'm crazy, but at the last club auction, I picked up a pair of albino crebensis, which are really beautiful fish. They have not fought at all. These guys have been ideal tank mates. They're really pretty. And in this heavily planted aquarium here, you can see the roots are limitless. They just have a good old time. They sit up in the little leaf area. I even seen one laying on top of the plants one time. And they're doing really nice. So I have the gold gourami, I have the paradise fish, and I have the crebensis. I was thinking of adding some of the dwarf gouramis if I can get them out of the other tank over there and adding them to the mix. Right now, this is just a haven for blue-eyed rice fish and some of my mountain minnows. You can see I brought from from outside. There's like a zillion of them in there. So I'm thinking of adding some of them, but they're so small, I don't want to screw with them and move them around too much. But other than that, the tank is doing nicely. It is run completely on water changes, plants, and my Aquarium internal filter over there, which I kind of keep this tank really simple, not over filtering, overdoing it, just letting it do what it do. And the ever so popular garage light, which is super strong. You can see these bad boys have 3 lenses, 1, 2, 3, and they really penetrate all the way down to the bottom. I had the Kessels on here. I had a reef light on here, and a lot of them just aren't made to penetrate a like 30-inch tall tank, and I had a lot of problems with the plants, but so far so good. Have some water sprite in there that's growing. Funny enough, this sword over here is having a similar problem, so I'm wondering, is something missing? I just can't put my finger on it. I do have Airstone up in there. If I can't recommend it, I'll recommend it anyway. Having the USB battery backup pumps is one of the better things I've ever done. Low voltage, it's hooked up to my Hydros power strip here, runs on a USB, it charges, and if I pull the power out, it typically keeps going. As you can see, I pull the power out, pump's still going, battery backup for days. And we had a power outage, not a power outage, but a surge where I actually lost power in the reef tank. And that happened because one of the things I had on a little fuse breaker, it tripped and it didn't cut back on because I had to manually cut it back on. But this kept going and everything else kept going. So I cannot recommend those pumps enough. I'll try to leave a link in the description below if you guys are interested. You can check it out. But I figured I'd give you guys a walk on the freshwater side. Cube's doing good. Taking care of this mama fern here that I picked up from a fellow hobbyist who was moving, and I've been trying to take care of it here to add some life to the man cave down here, and just to keep up the greenery. Oh, one thing that I'll note, I gotta show you. Look at this bamboo plant. This bamboo plant was coming out of this little water area. It grew down, it rooted up and grew back up, and is coming out of the water all the way here. And this is a 30-inch tall tank. I can sit back here. This is 30 inches tall. Look who is growing all the way out of the tank and literally hitting the ceiling. Literally hitting the ceiling. I don't know where it's going to go from there, but it is super, super healthy and green. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. I really don't, because I'm super impressed. Not only that it grew like that, but if you ever seen them grow these bamboo plants in like a corkscrew pattern, now I can see how they do it, because I didn't bend it. I just had it down here in the water and it actually rooted up. This is all roots from the bamboo plant from where it was in the water. And if I can angle the camera right, you'll see that it's growing down and out and just grew all those roots. And then this guy's always looking to see what I'm doing. Say hello to the camera. I love my paradise fish. But it grew all the way around and grew up and out of the water again. I'll be trimming this pothos again, which is all the way down to the floor. It is really crazy. I hate when it gets leggy like that. I'd rather the plant be full. Man, look at this. This is wrapped around too, wrapped in a circle. And I just got pothos all over the place. It's looking a little nuts. But anyway, that is the cube. If you guys have any tips, you plant aficionados out there, I'll be happy to hear and read your comments. But until next time, this is D. I'm going to sign off. Sit back, have me a brewski, and enjoy my tanks. Love, peace, and hair grease. See ya. For more content like this, click the subscribe button. Click the like, because YouTube likes that. All right? See ya, see ya, see ya. Goodbye.